Hooday, Bengal fans. He is Eric. Our man Mon is right around the corner. Join us. I am Jake. This is the Bengals Pulse, the heartbeat of our Cincinnati Bengals. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend, Mon.
We're going to start calling him Netflix Mon. He's buffering more than Netflix.
We are here. We are here live with you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We are here live pregame for Bengals Chargers Sunday Night Football at 8:15. We're here to get you caught up on all the news from today and get you ready for this big game tonight for the Cincinnati Bengals. Eric?
Yeah. We got a big game to talk about. Another primetime matchup. But before we get to that, I got a shout out to my podcaster brothers here. Congratulations to Mon on 25 years with the Melbourne Fire Service. Is that correct? He was honored on Tuesday. So that's a tough job. You see a lot of things you don't want to see. I couldn't do it. Not many of us could. So kudos to you, man. That's pretty awesome.
Thank
you for all that. And Coach Jake Owens, man, what a wonderful Friday night. Such a fun Friday night for us to be a part of. So much so we couldn't do it just in a short talk here. So I got a little presentation put together for the coach.
Appreciate it.
And I'll be upset if this doesn't bring some tears to your eyes. So we're going to keep you on the screen for this one.
I've cried a lot this weekend, so
for once in celebrations, not over the Bengals. So
yes,
I hope.
yes.
Hooday, Bengals fans. I know we're all excited to get into the breakdown of this week's game, but before we do, we have to take a moment to celebrate one of our own. On Friday night, Jake led the Space Coast Vipers to a thrilling 21-14 victory over the Bell Bulldogs, claiming their spot as state champions. Congratulations, Jake. Turning around a one-win team is an amazing feat in itself. Taking that same team and claiming your spot as champions is legendary. Of course, the Pulse is bigger than just three of us, and we had quite a few people that wanted to say congratulations. I hope you like this. Take a listen.
Hey, big congratulations to Coach Owens. Dude, I couldn't be more proud of you. I know Carter's super proud of you, that he can point to his Uncle Jake and say, that's my family right there. Doing big things for the Space Coast Vipers, the Port St. John community. You know this isn't just about football either. You're pulling the community together again. I'm super proud of you, Jake. Good job, buddy.
Congratulations, Jake Owens, for winning the championship. I knew you could do it, and maybe next time lead my team to a championship.
Hey, Jake. Aunt Jenny and I just wanted to say to you what a great job you did last night, what a great job your boys did last night, and that we're looking for greater things into the future.
Congratulations, Jake. We love you. Mom would be so happy.
Very true.
Hi, Jake. Congratulations on your team's win last night. Congratulations for a wonderful year of football coaching and for being back in the driver's seat. I know all those people who put such confidence and faith in you today feel like that confidence and faith in you as a head coach was well-founded. So congratulations. You know, God's given you a wonderful gift, Jake, an absolutely wonderful gift, because not only are you influencing young people on the football field, but you're also influencing them in the classroom. So to God for giving you all that talent, be the glory, but you deserve the congratulations. So I'm sorry I couldn't be there last night, but I was with you there in spirit, just like your Gree was. So I love you. I'm happy for you. I'm proud of you. And on to next year, right? Anyway, God bless you, sweetheart. I love you.
Hey, Uncle Jake, I'm super proud of you and the boys for turning around this football team so quickly. I love you, and I hope you guys can keep winning next year.
Congratulations, Uncle Jake. We love you.
Hey, Jake, we just wanted to say congratulations, and we're so proud, and we love you so much.
Yep, congratulations, Jake. Love you, brother.
All right.
Did awesome.
All right, my boy, congratulations. So proud of you and your team. amazing effort all season. It's true. You can come home again. You came home to Space Coast and handled business. And I'm proud to have you as my friend and proud to have you as my brother. Congratulations once again to you and your entire team. What a great effort. And my dream came true. I'm now on the Bengals Pulse.
Jacob, I just wanted to tell you how proud your mommy is of you. I'm proud of everything you do, but last night was amazing. I'm proud of how you love those boys so much, your whole season. I'm proud of the man you are. I'm proud of how you love those kids so much and you want them to go far in life and go to college and do all those wonderful things. And congratulations to you, your players, your coaching staff. And I can guarantee that Gree was probably turning somersaults last night in heaven. I love you.
Hello, son. Congratulations. First champion. I'm so proud of you. I know you worked really hard this year, and I know the boys and everybody in the family is really proud of you. Congratulations again, and next year, it's even going to be better. I love you. Take care.
Congratulations to our champion. We know how hard you and all of the boys work. Now, Bengals, win the Super Bowl today!
Hey, Jake, congratulations on your state championship. Very proud of you. I know how hard you work and how proud you are of your team. You are a passionate dude. And I know those players and that team means so much to you. And what an accomplishment. They only won one game last year. You took over that team and led them to a state championship. I'm proud of you. Wish you could contact Zach Taylor and help him out with some situational play calling. Congratulations to you.
Awesome.
Big things,
Good
Coach
stuff.
Owens. Big things.
Good
Big
stuff.
things.
Man, that was awesome. Thank you guys. I'm not.
Yeah. Hey, take a second. Just thanks for the experience. While he collects his thoughts, because that was an amazing production. Shout out to everybody that sent in videos. Those came in quick. They came in furious. Everybody did a great job with those videos. What a game that Mon and I got to experience, and just thank you for that. It felt like a game in Cincinnati. We were screaming. We were on the edge of our seats. We were comparing you to Zach Taylor. We were like 3rd and 1. Zach Taylor wouldn't go for it, and your dad's like, nope, I know my son. He's throwing the ball, and damn it, you threw the ball. So
Yeah.
what a great game.
His dad turned around and looked right at me. He goes, he's going to throw the ball. I said,
oh, yeah.
Yeah. And, I got to share a story. I mean, it was just beautiful. It was nerve-wracking at the end. I mean, there was some emotion. I was biting my fingernails. I was looking at my wife like, I can't handle this. You won the game, and then we were escorted on the field. We were blessed to be on the field. We're about 40 yards away from you while you're talking to your team. My brother somehow found his way in there. He was literally in the huddle with you, filming you. I'm like, what is this guy doing? He just walked up like he owns a place, like he's an assistant coach. And I said, that's my brother. What's he doing over there? It was hilarious.
Oh, it was funny. It was fun. I turn around and obviously still very emotional. The trophy's about to be presented to us, and all I feel is this hand on my shoulder. And as soon as I heard congrats, coach, I knew who it was because your brother has a very distinctive voice. And I'm like, that can't be Marvin. And I turn around, Marvin standing right behind me.
Hey.
I'm like, Marvin, where the hell did you come from?
He just walked on the field like he owned the place, like he's the mayor.
It was
It was the
awesome.
best.
It was awesome, man. It was obviously an incredible night. Listen, I know we got to talk about the Bengals, but first of all, thank you guys so much for being there. That really meant a lot. And, I will never take full credit for anything. I have an incredible coaching staff. Coaching is one of those professions where a lot of the time, the guys behind the scenes don't get the credit, but I have such an incredible coaching staff that they make me look good a lot of the times. And obviously, it's all about the players, and what an incredible group of young men that I am so lucky to coach. And, those guys worked so hard since February to put us in that situation. And I'm still trying to absorb it all, to be honest with you. I thought maybe by today it would fully hit me and I could reflect, but I'm still trying to take it all in. But I'm just so proud, and I'm so proud. I'm so happy for the community. It's the school's first state championship, and they've been around for 25 years, I think. And man, I'm just so happy for the community and everybody involved. Just an incredible. I'm so lucky to be the head coach there, and honored.
Can I add something real quick? I just want our fans to know this is your first year back at Space Coast. You took over a one-win football team, and they won a state championship. Coaching matters at any level. Doesn't matter where you're at. Coaching matters, and you deserve the notoriety. You're Coach of the Year in that conference also. So congratulations to you, Coach of the Year. You very deserving. You took a one-win team to a state championship. That's special, and you deserve accolades for that.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it, guys.
And you frustrated Mon and I, because now we can't question you. Like, we can't say what is Jake.
His Bengal takes stink. His Bengal take. He's a good high school football coach. His Bengal takes.
So my son came to the game with us too, and he sees the text come through, and he's watched the game with Jake, and Jake's very live by one. This defense is horrible. Live and die by one play, and we're like, well, that's because he's a coach. He has to live and die by one play. Well, Austin looks at me and says, Dad, that's not how Jake watches a game. Like, I was very surprised. He was very calm. He didn't get upset when they didn't make a play. I don't know. Like,
listen,
your Bengals takes.
That's why I'm so insane. That's why I'm so insane, because the Bengals allow me to be insane, right? Like,
yeah.
Professionally, I can't lose it. I have to stay here professionally. But when I'm yelling at my TV or in the stands, I can be unprofessional. That's totally different. That's what allows me to, I don't know.
One day
all that pent up, I get to let it all out.
One day we need to live cast a game, or at least our text messages, because that's classic. That's classic. Listen, I got to ask a quick question. I'm sorry. I know we got to jump into the football game. Jake, what happened on the one play in the championship game? It looked like a Kansas City redo of the AFC Championship game. It looked like they gave him an extra down. Is that what happened? They gave him an extra down.
They did. They did. Yeah. They apologized at halftime for it. But they did. They got an extra down. I don't. If I go into the whole thing, it'll take another 5 minutes.
Yeah, no, it's all good. But they did give him an extra down. But
they did. But again, that's. I'm just so proud of my guys, because obviously they didn't score on that drive, and that's one of the things we always talk about is fighting through adversity. Like, we can't control everything. We just can control what we can control. and that's the players, the players fighting through that adversity because we went 10-3 this year, and I can tell you in all 10 of our wins, there was adversity at some point in those 10 wins, and the kids found a way to fight through it. Even in the 3 losses, the kids, those losses made us better. I think we started 3-2, and then we won 7 of our last 8. So, that's and again, that's all about my coaches and my players. They are just an incredible group. And guys, we're young. This is the youngest team I've ever coached in 20 something years. I mean, we got almost a whole team coming back, so it's exciting.
And they got 4 timeouts in the first half, but that's let's get to the game now.
They did.
Yeah,
yes, they did.
Yeah, just one thing before we get to the game. I know I get heat for my homer takes and my believing that the Bengals are always going to come through, and people worrying about me jinxing things. I told your family we were doing those videos before the game started. Didn't jinx it. Still won the championship. You're welcome. Let's get to this game.
All right, let's talk, guys. And by the way, you guys, thank you so much for that video. That if your goal was to make me cry, you accomplished it. I'm so blessed to have all that incredible family and friends. I just love everybody that was on there so much. So thank you guys for that. I appreciate it. All right, let's talk about, guys, the Bills just scored. They're up 30-21 right now on the Chiefs with 2 minutes and 17 seconds left. So it looks hopefully like the Chiefs might finally fall. Guys, the Jets and the Falcons today, they sold on us, guys. They sold on us. It's hard, right? We're in this situation now where we have to scoreboard watch. We don't want to because we know that what matters more is the Bengals taking care of business on the field, but it's hard not to scoreboard watch. And obviously the Jets fall apart at the end, and the Falcons don't even show up to play in an NFL game today. So Bengals, this game tonight, guys, is huge. This is definitely the biggest game of the season. The Bengals have to stay pace with the rest of those wild card teams and try to work their way back into it. Mon, let's talk about real quick. I want to ask you first, this game tonight, how big are the implications? I mean, we obviously don't have a lot of games left. This season is winding down. How big is this game tonight in Los Angeles against the Chargers?
It is absolutely huge. I've been salty today. I've been really irritated because how some of these other games went. And, the Bengals cannot depend on anybody to help us. We have to win games. If we continue to win, we're in it. It's going to be a tough game. To me, it's a must win tonight with what happened with the Colts and what happened with the Broncos. They have to do it. There's a lot of football left to be played, but the Steelers are not going to be an easy out. We have some tough teams. The Broncos, they look really good today. I watched that game. They're impressive. They got to win tonight. They got to man up and win this game. I think we're always going to have a chance with number 9 and number 1, and T's coming back. We just need our defense to play a little bit better, fellas, and it's a must-win tonight.
Well, let's talk, Eric. I want to ask you this real quick. The inactives came out. Charlie Jones, Isaiah Williams, 2 wide receivers. DeJohn Anthony, sounds like he's a healthy scratch. Joe Bocci, we know he's had a little bit of issue. Orlando Brown Jr. scratched once again. He made the trip, but it looks like he's not playing tonight. Tanner McLaughlin's not playing, the rookie tight end. And Sheldon Rankins, a very interesting situation with Sheldon. He was not on the injury list all week, and now we are seeing him not playing, which, again, playing this LA Chargers team, who we'll get into in just a second, who runs the ball. We don't have one of our starting defensive tackles. Eric, what are your thoughts on this inactive list, and maybe talk a little bit about the frustration I'm sure everybody has with Sheldon Rankins.
So we don't know the full details of Sheldon Rankins. I did see on the ticker earlier today that he was listed with an illness, so he may have gotten the flu. He might have COVID. We don't really know. It's very frustrating because I've posted many times this week that my biggest thing with the Bengals defense is they are not a bad talent. They're talented defense. They are not playing to their ability. They're playing, every one of them is underperforming. And if they just played to their floor, we would be a 7-3, an 8-2 team. But they are all underperforming. So I was really looking forward to see Sheldon Rankins finally get off of the snide. But he's not there this week, so it is what it is. Orlando Brown Jr., Cody Ford hasn't been horrible. It's been the interior pressure that's really got us. I don't want to lose him for the season. We're going to need him on the long push. So take that extra week. That injury, I feel like it's a similar injury to Joe Burrow's is you can make it a lot worse by going out there and pushing it. No Dejon Anthony is really weird because we've been told all season that he's higher on the depth chart for safety than Tyson Anderson, who I've been wanting to see out there. Now we don't even have the ability to see him tonight. So if Geno Stone stumbles, who's going to come in and take that role? The ones that kind of stick out to me are not the Bengals inactives, and I don't know if you want to go through these or not, but I'll throw them out there. The new Chargers running back Vidal, who's been doing pretty well, Khalil Mack, and our boy Hayden Hurst, all inactive tonight. So we won't get that Hayden Hurst revenge game. What do you think about theirs?
I think Eric, the deal they deactivated Anthony and they activated his college teammate Cedric Johnson with Sheldon Rankins going down. They needed another body on the defensive line. And so I think they just switched those guys. Johnson's active today. Anthony is inactive. So they're going to need some bodies because Los Angeles Chargers can run.
Oh, there's a good line. What's that? FU San Diego. I got to get that soundbite out there. Well, the other thing that we did hear, we met some fans of the Pulse on Friday night, and they wanted to hear Eric curse more. So I'm going to have to get a bleep button for the show for next week.
All right, well, let's talk about this Chargers team real quick. I mean, this is a team that still have weapons. Not what we're used to seeing from the Chargers. We're used to seeing this big arm quarterback dropping back and having 3 or 4 really good receivers. That is not the case anymore with this Chargers team. Let's talk a little bit about this Chargers offense first. Obviously, Justin Herbert still at quarterback. J.K. Dobbins, a name we all know very well, being Bengal fans. Obviously, him coming over from the Baltimore Ravens. Ladd McConkey and Quentin Johnson, 2 younger receivers, manning the helm. Again, not really a lot of this offense is not really loaded, right? The offensive line, pretty solid. They do run the ball quite a bit. But this is definitely not the same Chargers team. I'm looking right here. Justin Herbert, though, protecting the football this year, 11 touchdowns and only 1 interception. So Herbert's playing really well. J.K. Dobbins, almost 700 yards rushing the football. Their leading receiver sitting at about 400, 500 yards, I think, in Ladd McConkey, the rookie. So, Ma, what are your thoughts on this Chargers offense and how they match up against our Bengals defense?
Jake, a few minutes ago, I was talking about your championship in high school football, and I said coaching matters. Coaching matters at every level. Look at the Chargers. The last 3 years, arguably the most underperforming team in the NFL. Off-season favorites to make a serious run, potentially make the championship game, Super Bowl, dark horses there. They underperformed. And look what happened. They bring in this new coach. He's not a new coach. He's a respected coach. Success with the 49ers. And obviously with Michigan, Harbaugh knows what he's doing. It's Harbaugh football. They run the ball, and it's almost a 50-50 split when you think about it. They're dominant. They control the line of scrimmage. Alt and Slater are good offensive linemen. You mentioned Ladd McConkey. The other wide receiver is finally starting to play for him. Johnson is playing well. Herbert's a stud, but they run the ball. 2 running backs that we're familiar with, J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards, both former Ravens. This is like another Ravens team. I mean, it really is. I mean, they're very similar. They're an AFC North style team. We have to maximize our possessions because we might only have it 7-8 times. I know I say that every week, but it's the truth. They're going to control the ball. I think last week they ran it more than they passed the ball. So we need to really be stout at the point of attack and try to get them off the field, and we don't want them to control the clock.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think when, again, you talked about the 2 backs. If you combine the 2 backs right now and what their production is between the 2 of them, Edwards has only played 5 games. He was a little banged up, I guess, at one time, but J.K. has played in all 9. Edwards played in 5, but between the 2, about 190 carries for over 800 yards. And 6 touchdowns. So yes, this is more of a ball control, more of a just a different style offense than what we're used to seeing with Justin Herbert these last couple of years. Again, where he was just kind of out there as the gunslinger, throwing it around the field. But again, they were also getting into a lot of trouble with Justin Herbert. Now it looks like he's in a offense where there's going to be a lot of play action. Again, when I look at touchdown to interception ratio, 11-1, that is very impressive to me when you think about playing in 9 football games in the NFL. And not only that, but your team is winning and you've thrown 1 interception. So they definitely protect the football. Our defense is going to be challenged tonight, Mon. I really think so, Eric. I mean, this team is a team that can run the football. And obviously, that's been a little bit of a struggle, Eric, stopping the run.
I'd say in the last 5-6 weeks we've had success stopping the run, but sometimes it hinders us in giving up those long passes. I don't have concern over us stopping the run. Real quick, the Chiefs just threw an interception on 4th down. Bills are taking the knee. So all of our Chief fans that normally come into our chat, they probably aren't going to make it before the end of the show. But congratulations to the Bills for knocking off the Chiefs. No more undefeated teams this year. My concern is, we've done a great job stopping the running backs these last few weeks. Even Saquon didn't really go off on us until the game was out of hand. I feel like we're doing a better job at that, but we need improved safety play because the moment you try and stop that run, well, now your safeties are vulnerable and your cornerbacks are vulnerable, and that's where we need guys to step up. They need to play to the level that they played last year, and we can have success. I don't know if let's see if we can transition to the Chargers defense, because all talk is that my theory is that with Joe Burrow, we just need 1 or 2 stops. This is the number 1 ranked defense this year. I'm concerned. I believe in Joe Burrow. I believe he can go out there and put up the numbers. But when you're facing a really, really good defense, we've seen Zach Taylor so many times condition into Joe to take what they give you. Joe's kind of put on his cape this year and taken whatever he could get. What do you guys think about this defensive matchup and Joe Burrow versus this defense? Let's go to Mon first. Mon, and you're muted.
Sorry. So sorry. Dog barking, whatever. Their defensive line is very formidable. I am going to say this. They haven't really played any juggernauts on offense. Okay. So I think the Bengals is probably the best offense that they've faced. The problem is the offensive line. I know I sound like a broken record, but Khalil Mack is not playing tonight, but Boza and Poona Ford, Morgan Fox are all good players. It's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a what's that, Joey Boza? Yeah, it's going to be a challenge. Derwin James is the real deal. He is one hell of a football player, and they got the pieces there. And you just mentioned their stats on defense. I mean, I don't care who they played. Yeah, they haven't played any juggernauts still. They've dominated the teams that they need to dominate. Cincinnati, and one of the other things too, guys, we just talked about it on the offense. Their defense is good because teams don't get the ball a lot. The Chargers control the clock. And guess what? Your defensive stats look good when the quarterback you're trying to defend is on the bench. So maybe that's the deal there. Cincinnati just has to come out and just got to play football. They got to play like they did last week, the first 3 quarters. If they do that, they win the game. That's what they have to do. They have to play physical football, match their physicality, because it's going to be one of those tough games on, prime time.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, this defense, Mon has 31 sacks already. Again, we talk about this all the time, Mon. In the NFL, you win with good defense and a good run game. The Chargers have both. That is why they are winning football games, because of this defense, because they're able to run the football. Khalil Mack is the second leading sack guy on this team, so it'll be good not to have him in there. The linebacker, I'm not sure how to say his name, Tuipulotu.
He's good. He's so good.
So he leads a team with 5.5 sacks. That obviously tells me that they bring a lot of pressure from the linebackers. And
like Dupree, don't forget Dupree.
Yeah, Bud Dupree. When you bring a lot of pressure from the linebackers, your running backs have got to do a good job of pass protecting. And the running backs, I don't feel like have done a great job this year in protecting the quarterback in the pass game. So we're gonna need that from our running backs. And I think too, I think maybe some uneven packages where we have a guy that's in there that can help with any of this type of pressure that the Chargers will bring. They do. They have 9 interceptions, and again, a lot of that is contributed, I'm sure, to their pass rush. And again, when you have a good pass rush, it obviously makes the back end of your defense that much better. The Bengals need to go out and they need to control the ball and still play their game. Though I think this is a team that it looks like T. Higgins is playing tonight, so. We need to get T. Higgins involved very quickly in this pass game. The Bengals offense, guys, is a lot better when T. Higgins is out there. And again, I know some people are not on the T. Higgins wagon, but I am telling you, you can tell there's a huge difference when T. Higgins is in the game. This Bengals offense just seems to click for one reason or another. And then, I think we need to get another big game from Chase Brown and Khalil Herbert, who had 1 touch last week, fumbled it, and we didn't see him for the rest of the game. The Bengals need a run game tonight, right, Mon? I mean, Khalil Herbert and Chase Brown both need to be able to carry the football tonight.
They do need to run the ball a little bit more. I mean, we're not kidding ourselves. The Bengals aren't going to turn into the Ravens. We say that all the time. But 13 rush attempts by your running back, that's all they had last week. They need to be a little bit more than that. When it's 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, we can't throw go routes. And we need to control the clock. We need to convert. And we need to start handing the ball off on 3rd and 1 and do that. We have to win first down also. You talked about the 31 sacks for the Chargers. If it's, 2nd and 10, 3rd and 9, guess what? Boza, Tuipulotu, Bud Dupree, all these guys are going to tee off. And it's going to be a lot harder for the Bengals. We have to win first down. Guys, our offense, we have 2 very special players. And you mentioned something about T. Higgins. With T. Higgins out there, it's going to keep that defense a little bit more honest. I think the Bengals will be able to run a little bit tonight because, let's face it, those safeties and those corners aren't going to be able to, safeties aren't going to be able to cheat up the help. The linebackers might have to drop a little bit. It's time for that interior offensive line to look at our mean tweets, get fired up, and play some ball.
Stop eating glass. Stop eating glass and go punch some guys. Come on.
They need to earn their paychecks tonight for sure. Right now, you talked about this, Eric. The Chargers defense. Only giving up 13 points a game is impressive in the NFL. Again, that is why this team is where they are. Have not given up a lot of total touchdowns either. And then obviously, like I said, when you look at the rushing yards that this team has given up, I feel like the Bengals can run the football tonight. They've given up almost 1,000 yards rushing. So I feel like this Chargers defense, and I haven't watched a lot of it, but I feel like this is a team that teams drive up and down the field, and kind of like what we saw in 21 and 22 with the Bengals defense, teams going up and down the field between the 20s. And when they get into that red zone area, this Chargers defense kind of locks it down. Because, again, they've only given up 13 points a game, but they've given up quite a few yards on defense. So I think for me, when I look at those numbers, because numbers don't lie, the Bengals have got to score touchdowns when they get into the red zone. That is how you are going to beat this football team. And, Mon, that has been a weakness for the Bengals offense, has it not? Getting in that red zone area and not coming away with touchdowns. It's almost like the Bengals red zone offense is non-existent. It's like they're throwing darts at a dartboard when they get inside the 20, Mon.
Yeah, when you when you look at a stat line when a game ends and you see a 20-yard field goal, that means you had the ball at the 3. You see a 27-yard field goal, you had the ball at the 10. When you're inside the 10-yard line, you need to score touchdowns. And it just drives me absolutely bonkers when you see that. 45, 50-yard field goals, I get it. But when you're inside the 20, inside the 10, inside the 5, and kicking field goals leads to losing games. Go ahead, Eric.
So I had to challenge that assertion. Maybe for the season, the Bengals had issues. Maybe not even for the season with red zone scoring. In 2024, an NFL team red zone scoring percentage, touchdowns only. Number 1 is Baltimore. They score touchdowns 76% of the time. Number 2 is Cincinnati, 72.41% of the time. In the last 3 games, we're 81%, and every time we were in the red zone last week, we scored a touchdown. I think it's an old narrative. I think with Joe Burrow being an improviser, I think it really helps.
I think the last 3. I think the last 3 games skewed that a little bit because they struggled early in the season.
That's what I was going to say. They struggled a lot.
It's a good point, though, Eric.
It is, but I do think those numbers are skewed. The Bengals these last 3 weeks, which, by the way, have not come away with a lot of wins. When we look at obviously the 2 Ravens games, I mean, those are 2 games that are obviously going to skew the numbers a little bit. But we've also seen this team numerous times, especially in the early part of the year, struggle in the red zone. But that is interesting that these last couple of weeks have been better. However, I do think it's a little skewed.
Well, but even that, we're 72.4. Sorry, Mon, 72.4 for the year. We've only been 81 for the last 3 weeks. 81 doesn't bring up your number that much. I think that the narrative is older. I think the Bengals are calling more plays and allowing Joe Burrow to improvise, and that's the key to red zone success. Going off script and having your off script, your wide receivers rolling towards the quarterback and making plays. Go ahead, Mon.
No, I know we're talking about the game tonight. We're about to give our predictions. The game's going to start soon. I just got to make a statement. I've been salty today. I've been irritated. I just got to ask you guys this question, your views on it. The Ravens-Steelers game, I watched that today, and I was jealous, envious. Mm-hmm. I just want Bengal Nation to know something. The Pittsburgh Steelers have 2 rookies starting on their offensive line, a second-year player starting a tackle. So they have 3 players starting on that offensive line from the last 2 drafts. They have 2 defensive linemen playing from the last 2 drafts. They have 2 cornerbacks playing from the last 2 drafts. And they have a linebacker that they just drafted this year that made a key interception. All these young players producing. Wouldn't you like to see that in Bengal land a little bit? It is absolutely maddening to me when I see that. And they're playing good football.
That's crazy.
I don't know what it is, man. It's a developmental thing.
It is, Mon. It is. And listen, offensively, they're not that good. I mean, they won on field goals. They've won 2 games, 2 big games on field goals, only field goals. It's insane. It's so frustrating to watch. Again, I've said from the beginning, and I'm not trying to moan, the Ravens they're overrated, guys, because our defense can't stop them. the Ravens have had 4 very badly played football games. But the Steelers, they're good, Mon, because we've seen this for years and years with this team. They draft well and they evaluate talent well. 2 things that the Bengals struggle with. And they got pretty good coaches, right? I mean, you talked about it earlier. Coaching matters.
Jake, how ballsy is it that you have 2 rookies starting on your offensive line? Zach Frazier's a good player. McCormick is a later round pick that I wanted to get in the 3rd, 4th round, whatever. He's starting. If it wasn't for Fanu's injury, they'd have 3 rookies starting on that offensive line. And it's just unbelievable.
I think their hand was forced on some of those injuries. They weren't going in as starters, but injuries made it happen. You say what you want about Mike Tomlin. I know there's not a lot of love from him here. He's a Hall of Fame coach, but you know what he does and the difference really between him and a lot of coaches, and especially since compared to Zach Taylor. Zach Taylor has created a great locker room environment. You know, he's made people want to come there to play with Joe, but there's a difference between him and Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin, takes these young athletes and teaches them life skills and turns them into men and teaches them discipline. And what do you need from a young athlete to contribute right away? You need discipline. And no matter what, you can knock Tomlin all you want all day, but he brings these young guys and teaches them how to be men and teaches them how to be disciplined. You don't see Steelers barely pushing a guy out of bounds and letting them go for 84 yards. You see those players, if anything, getting a late hit penalty because they weren't going to let someone tiptoe down the sidelines.
Eric, they have an attitude.
I think that's the difference.
Yeah, they have an attitude. They have a mean attitude. They're not I'll say it, man. I know it's controversial, and I'm sorry. We got a bunch of choir boys. And the Steelers, these guys have an attitude. They want to kill people. And it drives me nuts because I think they're borderline cheap shotters. But you know what? I'd like to have a couple of guys that push the envelope. I really would.
Vontez would have been a Hall of Famer if he was on the Steelers because he played like the Steelers. Say what you want. It's the reason we've lost a lot of these games is disciplines, not tackling, not playing until the whistle. And that's the difference between the Bengals coaches and the Steelers coaches, and we hope our coaches can get there. Guys, we're 42 minutes in, so we probably need to get to our predictions because we don't want people to miss any word out of Collinsworth's mouth tonight.
Thank you, Victoria. Yes.
All right. So,
once again, let me say this real quick, Eric, because I just want to throw this. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it. We love having you guys on. We know it's getting close to kickoff. And it means so much to us that you guys are willing to join us. We are going to be back right after the game with our hopefully post-game victory talk on this Bengals-Chargers game. Go ahead, Eric. Sorry.
No, you're fine. No, we definitely will be back with our post-game victory. I'm gonna be that guy again. We're gonna be here. We're gonna finally be celebrating, and we won't know what to talk about because there's going to be so much success. We did tweet out send a post out on X with the other predictions for this week's games. I think you guys both got it right.
We did.
What?
We did. So we're going to go 3 for 3.
Eric, don't act surprised.
Yeah, don't act surprised.
We're like the bravest minds on Twitter. I have lost one battle in 12 years on Twitter. One.
Famous Jameis couldn't come through for the Browns. The Steelers kicker showed up and beat the Ravens. And not to mention the best kicker, arguably probably ever, is missing field goals left and right. So what a successful AFC North weekend this could be. We saved the best for last, though. We're going to get to our Bengals Chargers predictions. Mon, why don't you go up first? Give us your synopsis on why the Bengals are going to win this and your score.
It's going to be a typical Bengal game. A lot of bathroom breaks. We're going to be nervous. It's never easy in Bengal land, but we're going to get a key turnover. Cincinnati is going to win a hard-fought AFC North style game, 24-21. The key to this game is our running game is going to show up. We're going to get 1-0-0 on the ground, and the running game is going to do it for us.
All right. I also think the Bengals are going to come away with a win. I do think that the Bengals, I think that they are able to score on this defense. And I know this is a very good defense. I don't want to downplay it. It is one of the top defenses in the NFL, but this Bengals offense is really good, especially when T. Higgins is on the field. This offense has looked good for the last couple weeks. And I think, once again, it does the same. Defensively for the Bengals, stop the run. You're going to win this football game. I think we match up pretty well against them, our defense and their offense. The one thing is this team does not turn the ball over, and we need our defense to get a couple turnovers, and I think they will. I have the Bengals winning 31-17. Again, I am trying to talk this into existence, so I am not a nervous wreck. I've already had to up my blood pressure medicine after Friday night, and I do not want to have to up it up anymore after tonight. So I am speaking it into existence. I think the Bengals win this game, and I think the Bengals control this game. I truly believe it. This is a must-win for the Bengals.
It is. It is. So I'm a big omens guy, and 2 nights ago I had a dream that Khalil Herbert took a touchdown, 73 yards, took a run to the end zone for 73 yards. Then I'm playing Madden yesterday morning and just happened to be playing against the Chargers, and DJ Turner had a pick six on the 3-yard line, from the 3-yard line, 97 yards. And then Geno Stone got an interception. So everything's coming up Bengals.
Wow.
I'm taking these omens to say that Eric is finally right. This defense is going to play to their floor. If they play to their talent level, they don't have to play lights out. Play to their talent level. Somebody other than Trey Hendrickson is going to get a sack on top of what Trey does. We're going to be really happy come 11:45 tonight.
Our Herbert is better than their Herbert.
For sure.
All right, guys. As we said before, we are going to be back here live right after the game. Make sure you join us so we can be talking about this Bengals victory with all of you. Thank you guys so much for joining us in the pregame show right here on the Bengals Pulse. He is Mon. He is Eric. I am Jake. We will see you in about 3 hours to talk about a Bengals win in LA. Thanks, guys. Hoo day.
Hoo day.